Mikuro, we're Axosu Àgèlògbàgàn the first, and we are coming to you on this beautiful day, on this beautiful trail. We want to do a finish up to that first video about why white people cannot worship African deities. We're gonna lay some to you that many they don't talk about. Some people know it, especially from the continent, but they don't say it because it might hurt their pocket with Yovo loving new Africans, or hurt their pocket with the Yovo themselves, who they're selling initiations to. So, real simple. Another aspect to this thing about why non-Africans cannot worship African deities. We talked about, the time when African deities were revealed, and they weren't around. The deities were not revealed to them. Period. So that's really the end of the argument. If somebody wants to continue, this is not a universal religion. This is not a religion. First of all, none of our traditions are religions. It can't be stated enough. And in Benin, you talk to the right people, you'll see this concept very much adhered to. African traditions are lineage related. Now, that being said, some Africans can't just automatically worship another African deity. Like a Yoruba person is 100% Yoruba. Let's say you got a person that's 100% Akan, right? Technically, neither one of them can really worship either one of those deities, one of their deities. However, we have special, and these are not things to talk about on online, on video or anything like that. But we have a way that we can marry somebody into another African lineage deity-wise type of thing, where their deities will be imported to, let's say it's a husband and wife, the wife's deities can be imported to him if that is deemed necessary, and the husband to the wife, However, once again, the qualification is that you have to have African physical and spiritual DNA. Period. For those that may worry that they have non-African ancestry, we're not talking about, if you're not like directly mixed, we're not really talking about you, but it's on a case-by-case basis what would need to be done to spiritually remove those non-African ancestors from you. Once again, that's not anything to talk about on a video or in an article, in detail. So so don't feel like, well, I know I got some white blood in me somewhere, some Indian, so-called Native American, then it's over with for me. No, that's not it. First of all, you have to have the Quilombo, as we said, starts in the Ori, in the mind, in the head. So if you're willing to get rid of that, then we can do that. We have ways to do that. I mean, we have ways of removing negative African ancestors, so why can't we move non-African ancestors? Nobody wants to talk about that, but they want to talk about getting rid of, quieting, blocking negative African ancestors. You can quiet anything you want. But these traditions are lineage based. Now, in the case of the new African, we are in a unique position, unfortunately, because of the Nawon Kuvo, or the so-called slave trade, the captivity era, we call it. We can pretty much go into any tradition along that West Coast, even all the way down to South Africa, because of the circumstances of all these various clans and ethnicities coming together. We ourselves, we have Congo, we have Yoruba blood, we have blood from Hebiye, that's Aja people. They are how can we put it, a branch of the Aja, people from Heavy. They're called Seto. Just like they have Aizo, you have Phone. All those people are Aja people. So we have Aja blood specifically from Heavy. So that being said, and we have Yoruba blood. We don't know if we said that, from Oyo. So that being said, going into Isheshe, and we also have a little Akan blood. So going into the any of the Akan tradition, or Congo, or Isheshe, or Vodun, we were good. You're good either way when you're going into Vodun, because Vodun is the container for all African people. So if you have any doubt about, well, I don't have Yoruba blood, or I don't have Akan blood, you cannot go wrong with Vodun. That would be, as we said in another video, if we were really trying to unify the way the Chinese did under their culture, the Japanese do under theirs, the Indians do under theirs, if we were really trying to unify, Vodun would be our base tradition. We would never get rid of Isheshe. We would never get rid of Boson, the Kom tradition of the Akan, But all those are branches that come together. So the new African is in a very, very unique position to not have to worry so much about particular lineages. But if we do find out, let's say, because we've had people, we've done countless roots readings for people to help them know where they're from, and exactly where they're from, their clan and everything. And they may want to, or wonder if they should be in the Isheshe tradition of the Yoruba. And they may want to base their decision based, we can't, tell people what to do. They have a right. They may want to make their decision based on the fact that if they have Yoruba blood. If I have Yoruba blood, well, Kabiesi, I will pursue that. But if I don't want to pursue it, if I don't have Yoruba blood, even though I like the tradition. And so we would divine for them and find out if they have Yoruba blood. And in some cases, they did not have Yoruba blood, and they chose not to pursue Isheshe because they did not have that in their blood. But as we said, you cannot go wrong with Vodun. So it isn't that you have to have Aja blood, or Phone blood, or Eve blood to worship in Vodun, because Vodun is that original container that birthed all of the others. The others are specific. The language in Vodun tends to be predominantly, of course, Aja, Ajagbe, which is, Fongbe, Setokbe, Hulabe, and that's coming from an ancient source. But there are other words in the tradition that are Yoruba, that are from the Bariba people of northern Benin, which that's Vodun up that way also, But so don't get caught up in the language either, because once again, we're talking about an ancient people, and that is the language that they spoke. But then there were other people that had their aspect of Vodun that they used their language, their dialects and their languages and whatnot. So we just wanted to add real quick to that last video that this is a lineage-based tradition, and even some Africans really can't worship in a system where they don't have the blood, unless they are, quote unquote, married into the tradition, or married onto it in a way, ritually and spiritually. Most of the time for new Africans, it's not going to be a problem. So we just wanted to add that, and we hope that you've gotten some kind of knowledge from this video that you could take further and build upon. Make sure you check out our website, Quilombo Restoration and Healing, at address restorationhealing.com. Odigba.